This is Hiring on All Cylinders, live from HR Tech.
Hey Sean, here we are.
Woo, we're here.
End of the day.
We somehow made it.
I know, it's been fantastic. So we are one day down, one to go for hiring on all cylinders here at HR Tech 2017.
It's been pretty incredible. I mean, we've spoken with economists, CEOs, analysts, and every single conversation has yielded some really incredible insights.
Yeah, absolutely amazing and so fun.
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things about doing this show here specifically is, you know, when you come to conferences like this, so many of the conversations are quick because you're on the floor and you can't really take the time to chat and have an in-depth conversation. And we get to sit down here and meet people and learn about their expertise and their, given situations. And it's phenomenal.
Yeah, really. And draw on their experiences, right?
Exactly.
So early on in the day, we were joined by the Global VP of TA from a tiny little company I think some people may have heard of. Some call it J&J, also known as Johnson & Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those guys. But really what was so interesting was that we got to talk about the consumerization of recruiting and what that means for everyone. And really kind of getting into candidate experience and how J&J is innovating around how they can draw the candidate in and really give them an experience that will take them away from the negative experience that we all struggle with of having the time to keep people informed and not letting people fall into the black hole. So let's take a little listen to how J&J is looking to solve that.
And so one of the things that we're really trying to do at Johnson & Johnson is to bring a much more consumerism approach to the way we think about employee experience and the way we think about recruiting. And so one of the things, and obviously part of that consumer expectations, transparency is a huge aspect of it, right? So if you, I'm originally from Europe and grew up in Amsterdam, and when I want to send a birthday package to one of my friends or my family members, my expectation is that I can track that birthday package from New York City, where I live, all the way to Amsterdam. I always want to know where that package is. I want to know when they receive it. And so candidates in our recruiting process have that exact same expectation. And so what we're very focused on is how can we bridge that gap between the consumer expectations that we all have on a daily basis and the lack of the delivery of that experience across the recruiting process.
Fantastic. And that wasn't the only piece of information or insight we gleaned from Shord. So make sure to stay tuned. We'll be sharing the full podcast in the coming days and weeks. And you can subscribe on iTunes and all of that goodness if you aren't already. So next up, we had Susan Vitale stop by from iCIMS. And as the Chief Marketing Officer, she actually started as a coordinator over 10 years ago at iCIMS. And one of the great bits of our conversation was talking about how iCIMS specifically fosters a sense of loyalty for their employees. I mean, 10 years, I think it was actually 12 specifically at one given company, especially in tech, is quite a long time. And she shared kind of how others can do that. And just a little hint here, you might have to be located in Jersey for that loyalty, but we'll not dive too deep into that. Let's go ahead and hear that snippet right now.
But we've been able to keep a really good culture, a really good mix, and that's been there from the start. As much as it feels a little different by having 650 employees versus 30 some odd, our founder and CEO is still chairman and CEO of our company. I'm surrounded by really smart, driven, talented people. We take really good care of our employees. We take really good care of our customers. We just have a couple of core values like that I think people want to be around, and they want to grow with a company that takes care of their customers and takes care of their employees.
Okay, one of the most technically fascinating conversations we had, from my opinion, was with Andrew Chamberlain, who is the chief economist for Glassdoor and was also the first economist that Glassdoor actually hired. And we covered some things like the gender pay gap and skill-based qualifications. Just so interesting how he thinks about people and the labor markets and where things are going. So another great snippet here from Andrew as he talks about automation and how it won't actually lead to everyone losing their jobs, but potentially create more jobs and create jobs that are more meaningful for people.
Exactly. Let's play it.
I have. A lot of people are fearful of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and automation, and the impact on the workforce. Are we all going to lose our jobs? Are we all going to be replaced by a robot? So my perspective as an economist is when you look at the research and you look at the history of innovation and technological change, it's completely clear. Innovation and automation almost always creates more jobs in the long run that it ends up destroying. And the reason why is that robots rarely fully replace a person. What normally happens is they replace part of the person's job, and then the person teams up with that automation and becomes more productive. And those productivity gains at companies allow them to expand and ultimately hire even more people.
And that is just a small taste, folks. You heard from 3 of the guests we had today. We can tell you we had quite a few more than that. We also had a bunch with our CEO, John Bishke. So make sure to tune in. If you aren't already subscribed, please do. Stay tuned. We'll make sure we post those full episodes in the coming days. For now, I know Britt and myself and our other Entelo crew members here are off to our own happy hour at the Ice Bar here at the Venetian. So if you happen to be around, please feel free to swing by. We'd love to see your face. And then perhaps even into the evening at Brooklyn Bowl, thanks to Cornerstone, as we learned from Jason. But until tomorrow, friendly listeners, we will see you then.
Adios.